Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about in this segment, but first and foremost, I want to thank you for subscribing to this channel and also for the members, the new members on this channel. So, really quickly, I want to thank the new members. I'll get to you in a moment. The Manhattan DA reportedly has not flipped the would-be star witness in its Trump investigation. Alan Weisselberg may be holding out for the best possible deal. Business Insider. That will be below in the description section. But also, how to hold Trump accountable. The Atlantic. The extent of the former president's corruption may be too great for Americans to fathom. Maybe that's because the extent is so great that he never worked with Russia and he never engaged in massive financial violations. His CFO refuses to flip. Everybody from Michael Avenatti to Jussi Smollett to Eric Schneiderman to Peter Strzok to Lisa Page to Andrew McCabe. There's a long list of people who went after President Trump. It didn't work out well for them. Then there's an article. We'll get to a couple of more articles below, but I want to also touch upon Jimmy Dore and the fact that he finished once and for all, thank God, he basically obliterated and annihilated and decimated the really wonderful and thoughtful and honest and decent and noble $20 million venture capital people. But really quickly, before I get to what I'm about, what this segment is about, I want to thank Eric H526, and I want to thank also the new members of this channel. So I have a membership on this channel. You can join to become members. It's really awesome. Eric H526, D. Lynn, thank you so very much. And I just started it a couple of hours ago. But Eric H526 and D. Lynn, thank you. I'll give you a shout out when you join. And there's some really cool emojis and other perks. So if you want to support my voice in this channel, definitely become a member. If you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. And also on hagoodman.com, you can read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. You can see my debates as well. Jimmy Dore has completely finished the wonderful people at TYT. They're very, very good human beings. And the interesting thing about that network is it's composed of pundits who will always, no matter what, Bernie Sanders, can be cheated. Debbie Wasserman Schultz could be forced to resign in disgrace. $200 million could be siphoned from idealistic, left-leaning voters. And I used to be, according to the Huffington Post, the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. According to the Washington Post, I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. You can look at the links to those articles and publications on hagoodman.com. I was supporting Bernie Sanders. My writing was going viral in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon. I had a Cleveland Plain Dealer article. I had other articles, a Jerusalem Post, other articles supporting Bernie Sanders in 2016. Now, every one of those, all my writing went through editors, even at the Huffington Post. I had to submit the writing, and it went through editors. So the editors at those locations, The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, they gave a stamp of approval, and my writing went viral in 2016. And the reason, and now I support President Trump. I want Americans home from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. President Trump negotiated a deal to withdraw Americans from numerous places. But on May 1st, 2021, we should be out of a location we've been in for 20 years. Trump allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea. He never worked with Russia. And that's, we'll get to the wonderful people at TYT in a moment. But in terms of Trump, I disagree, and other issues, geopolitical issues, I disagree with Jimmy Dore. I respect Jimmy Dore as a man, as a human being, as somebody who has integrity. The man has integrity. Okay? So, the one thing that you didn't want if you were a $20 million venture capital pundit was to have somebody like Jimmy Dore who could see the light and kind of shed light onto the hypocrisy. One of the things I respect about Jimmy Dore and other people on the left, because there are people on the left who just won't vote Democrat. It's not, if your value system is a centrist value system, that's fine. That's fine. At least be who you are. But don't pretend to be this edgy far left person. So there's a direct correlation between Bernie Sanders and Trump. About 10 to 15% of Bernie Sanders voters voted for Trump in 2016. Around the same amount voted for Trump in last year. There are people like Jimmy Dore who are left-leaning, will always stay left-leaning, and, who have a value system that remains constant. And if that means not voting for Republicans but not voting for Democrats, he will not do that. There's a racket and a grift and the biggest money-making endeavor from extremely wealthy socialists who probably make easily 20, 30 grand, 40 grand a month. Socialists or Democratic socialists or Bernie Sanders supporters or people who want taxes. And by the way, ever wonder why you would have your business in a state with less taxes, or start a business not in California but in another state? Gee, I wonder where the $20 million venture capital people started their business. Anyway, you're going to get, if you get money from venture capitalists, you always tell your viewers to vote Democrat no matter what. You're endorsed and unendorsed by Bernie Sanders. And we can go on forever. They went after me, and it didn't work out well. And they go after a lot of people. They tried to go after Jimmy Dore, and they got swallowed up. I mean, Jimmy Dore did to them what Kwame Brown is doing to an entire public relations machine. And he has other people on the left that are highly respected. I have to say that it's a beautiful sight to see. Even though I just found out about everything going on yesterday. I don't know what else to say other than I have always been constant in my value system. I've remained true to myself. Now, to people who don't like me or disagree with me, they might say, oh my God, you were a Bernie Sanders supporter. You went to Trump. I explained in The Federalist how that's a seamless transition. And if your vantage point is foreign policy and other issues, especially for numerous elements of foreign policy, for me, it's been a seamless transition. President Trump, in terms of accomplishments, is a great president. They went after him. They try to set him up. They try to frame him. They're going after him. They don't even have anything on him. They try to get his CFO to flip. His tax returns were supposed to be the holy grail of corruption. But people like the wonderful, beautiful people at TYT, it's Washington Post or CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, and then it filters through to the extremely wealthy Democratic socialists, pundits, and then it gets to the average left-leaning person, progressive, and then at the end of the day, they all vote Democrat. It's all a racket and grift. They will never implement Medicare for all. They will never implement a Green New Deal. They will prop up people like AOC and Bernie Sanders, and they will all work for the Democratic Party. People like Jimmy Dore, Tulsi Gabbard, and others, or at least in terms of voices or pundits, people like Jimmy Dore, one reason I respect Mr. Dore a great deal is because if he doesn't like what he sees, he's not bound by a political party. There are people who define their existence, who define themselves, their identity is linked directly to the Democratic Party. And that's why initially they never liked me, and that's why they tried to go after now Jimmy Dore for years, and he finally finished it and ended it, and it's the absolute devastation is a sight to behold. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. If you want to become a member, that would be fantastic. Hit the join button next to subscribe, and subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below in the pinned comment as well. Thank you so much.